Capricorn, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today for your summer solstice reading. We're going to use the oracle cards to see what the summer solstice season is bringing in for you, Capricorn. Let's see. We see coming to the edge coming out. This is interesting. Makes me feel like you are about to make a big move here. Bottom of the deck is clean it up. So there may be things from the past that need your attention. There may be things that are on your mind right now that you're needing to sort of do almost like a cleaning, a cleansing of your home, of your car, of your internal beliefs, of the narrative that you're telling yourself. It feels like you're coming to the edge of a cycle, of a timeline, and it's time to sort of get things cleaned up a bit here because I feel like you're going to be making some big moves. You might be physically moving. You might be shifting with respect to what's going on the inside, like your internal self may be ready for a shift. Now, this can sort of be a moment in time where you might start to notice things falling away that no longer serve you. And there might be a part of your ego that sort of freaks out a little bit at that and sort of starts to think, well, what's going on? Why am I not relating to my friends the same? Why am I having these moments of feeling triggered around certain people? There might be things that are coming to the surface that you need to sort of process as you're coming to the edge. There may be things that really need to be addressed from the past, old stories. Your weekly reading sort of brought our attention to the need to heal old stories. What does Capricorn need to surrender, or surrender to for that matter? For Capricorn solstice season. Interesting. Okay, look at this. You've got two interesting cards. Surrender to your full power and surrender your attachment to results. This is a very interesting idea here. This idea of not doing things just because you want a certain outcome, but doing them because they're fulfilling to you in other ways. So you're not acting with respect to making things happen because there's a desired outcome. Sometimes that attachment to an outcome can actually sabotage the energy around what you're doing. So the message on the card says the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So it's almost like you just need to do things for the fulfillment you get out of it without thinking like, I'm going to paint a picture today because I'm going to sell it and become famous. Well, why not just paint the picture because you want to paint something, or maybe you want to see, a new sort of skill set that you might have. You know what I mean? Instead of focused on the outcome. Very interesting, Capricorn. The other card you received here is surrender to your full power. Your life is calling to you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So these two cards together actually make me think that perhaps you're coming to the edge of realizing that, doing things just for the outcome is limiting you, and that you have far more to offer if you sort of take that lens away. If you remove the idea of just being focused on the outcomes, you might actually notice that there's a wealth of opportunity and potential within you to do new things just because you're interested in doing them. And it's you stepping into your full power. Sometimes we play it small when we make a decision that the outcome isn't going to be what we want. Then we're like, well, why bother? That's not going to lead to that outcome. So what's the point? You know what I mean? This is very interesting. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck as well. Surrender to your intuition, Capricorn. Very interesting as well. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you, and don't dismiss them because you sort of get yourself caught up thinking about, well, what's the outcome going to be? You know, if I go ahead and do that, what's the outcome going to be? That's not the point. So, you know, that's almost a limited belief that's got to go. That might be something that you're coming to the edge of realizing right now. Now, let's see what guidance, actually, before we get to the guidance card, let's see from the Creativity Oracle what comes through for you, Capricorn. What is going on for Capricorn right now that they need to be brought into awareness of? The most distractions. So perhaps you're feeling distracted, Capricorn. The message on the card says, when you are trying to solve a problem, you will often be tested by distractions. Are you going to let the distraction take over and sort of mute whatever it is that you're trying to do? The other card you got on the bottom of the deck here is Happy Accident, which is an interesting one. Fortunate accidents can act as a guide to edit and let me read that again. Fortunate accidents can act as guides to edit and be open to where you should go. To edit and be open to where you should go next. That's interesting. I like the message, but I feel like the sentence is written kind of funny. I guess like the message here is that there are things that can happen in unexpected ways to alter where you go next and what you're open to. And it's interesting because that can really be something that comes through your intuitive senses. You know what I mean? That was on the bottom of the deck. That's very interesting. Happy accident and distractions. So it's almost like you just need to be open to things without sort of focusing on what's it going to lead to. Don't worry about what it's going to lead to. It could be a happy accident that if you surrender your attachment to the outcome and you follow your intuition and you step into your full power, you might not be as distracted by, well, what's it going to lead to? Do you know what I mean? These are very interesting messages for you to receive, for food for thought, you know, something to consider as you shift into the next season here. In North America, we are stepping into the summer. So this is a time for Capricorn to, wow, I'm almost getting this visual of you sort of, again, it's a cleanse. It's almost like you need a full mind, body, and soul cleanse to step into this new season. You're coming to the edge of a new season. You got to clean everything up from the past. That may sound like a tall order, but really it's just letting go. It might just be letting go of things and really just stepping into your full power, really focusing on what's coming through intuitively, being open, letting go of your attachment to the outcome, and sort of being mindful of any distractions that might be sort of muting your ability to step into your power. Now, what are the final guidance messages here for Capricorn? Dream talk, you know, very consistent messages here. There's the image. The message on the card says your subconscious constantly and subtly speaks through your dreams. It's just one of the many ways in which your soul and those here in the spirit world can reach out and communicate with you through signs, symbols, messages, and more. So again, sort of going along with that happy accident energy, it's sort of this idea of being mindful of what's coming through in the more spiritual realm. Like what's coming through your intuition? What are you dreaming about? When you wake up in the morning, and if you pause for a moment and sort of allow yourself to remember your dreams, or maybe keeping a dream journal by your bed. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll get up and sort of write something in my dream journal in the morning. Sometimes I can't read it. Sometimes I can. It's hard to sometimes make sense of things when you're in that, it almost feels like another dimension, doesn't it? So sort of being mindful of what's coming through those senses, you know. Trust on the bottom of the deck here, my friends. It says here, while your logical mind is dictating a supposed clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow another alternative path. The logical path may be the one to consider as safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on boundless opportunities and so much more by sort of trusting those other senses. This is a very consistent reading. All of these decks, these 4 decks, are really revealing to us that Capricorn is at a moment of sort of shift. And I feel like summer solstice is a perfect time for this shift for you, Capricorn. It's almost like you have had the winter and the spring to sort of come into the wisdom and allow things to flourish. And you've planted seeds, right? And now you're waiting. You're sort of waiting for things to bloom. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. But you almost have to get out of your own way by sort of trusting that intuition, that inner voice, not dismissing things that come through to you through your intuition, through your dreams, things that are synchronicities in terms of this happy accident energy, which is a very interesting one, where things just sort of happen. And, you know, if you're mindful of it and you're paying attention, you'll notice this stuff, right? And it could be an interesting pathway or a guide, a signpost to a path that's going to help you sort of step into your full power without being overly concerned about the outcome. Doing things because they feel in alignment, not because there's a reward waiting or there's an opportunity coming up. You know what I mean? Like, this is very interesting. I hope this has been helpful food for thought. Thank you so much for joining me for this Summer Solstice Oracle reading, Capricorn. I hope to see you again soon for another reading. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Sending you lots of love and light.